Hey everybody, I thought I'd give you a nice tour of the back garden here. Um, we'll kind of start here, work our way around the patio. I'll give you some background on it, and thought I'd change it up a little bit because I've worked really hard the last couple of years in getting this to where it is. So as you can see here, this is the iris lilac area, and I've done a lot of mixing vintage items in this set that normally doesn't have dead lilacs on it. Came from an estate last year. I thought about painting it black, but I think I like it with the white. The lilacs itself came from my grandmother's house years ago, and we started with little seedlings, and they've kind of grown up and built this arbor. The neighbors have some trees here that kind of hang over, so it kind of forces them to go this way. But I like to mix in a lot of vintage finds. A lot of these irises came from plant sales, yard sales, and just a variety of different places. The bird bath I bought out at the auction one night. This thing probably weighs 200 pounds, so once I got it here, I kind of left it here. But we got some mushrooms and a lamb, concrete lamb, and some concrete mushrooms, which I just picked up, and pagodas. I always like to mix the flower pots in just randomly here and there with stuff. This long black railing that you see here, actually somebody was throwing it out down the street, and we put it in. It's very mid-century. I did plant something here, hoping that it will grow and spread onto but it goes the whole way down there behind the settee and chair set. It was definitely an experience bringing it home. Thank God we only had to go like a block or two. So over on this side, we have the screen here that we put in last year to kind of give us some privacy for the hot tub, and we put 3 different kinds of honeysuckles in, so it'll grow up and hopefully fill in. Again, I have some flower pots. This giant concrete ball and this wheel came from a farm my dad once owned. The ball was on top of the silo. When they dropped the silo, I kept it. The kettle and the pump came from another property that my dad had owned at one point in time, and he said to me, "Do you want a kettle and a pump?" And I said, "Sure." So I tend to put things in the kettle that'll grow over and kind of spread out. So these should do that as the season goes on. I wish this rose was blooming, because it's this beautiful yellow rose called a Julia Child. It is the most vibrant rose. And I see here one of my white irises back here popped up today, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to back up here a little bit, and you'll see this walkway. This walkway and the patio was done about 2 years ago. When I moved into this house, this area over here, as well as the driveway and all this, including the patio, was all grass. Everything from the hill down was weeds. And as you can see, the rocks and stuff were done about almost 20 years ago. Originally there was mulch, and the mulch just wasn't ever fighting with weeds, so we did the stones. I do spray the bank twice a year. As you can see, there's a couple that I need to get. But then at the bottom of the bank, there's some railroad timbers which need to be replaced after 20 years. And then there's a little bit of a bank. Most of the bank has berries like raspberries, blackberries, goji berries that we grow with some weeds mixed in. That's something we have to tackle at some point, is what to do with that area. I might see if the township can bring us some mulch, and then maybe spray that stuff down and mulch it, see how it does. I do like the woods and stuff in the back here. One of the reasons I bought the house 20 years ago was the privacy. We're very close to everything. So having these woods here is nice. There's nothing down below us except for that's the closest house, and that's at the very end of the property. We get a lot of deer, we get foxes, so some neat things. Every once in a while we'll see a bald eagle. But let me go back over this way. So we put this arbor in a couple years ago before we did the patio. There was a black metal one here that actually fell apart, and the only thing that was holding it up was the trailing vines that were going over it. So we cut those back and put this in, and hopefully this will stick around for a while. The main reason that the patio was done was so that we could put a hot tub in. And originally, about, I want to say 15 years ago, I decided I wanted a patio back here. The only thing that was back here was this little concrete, or the flagstone pad here that was for these two doors. And what we ended up doing was I got some very fine crushed stone and outlined this whole area where the flagstone is with an edging, and there was crushed stone. You can actually see some of it when we did the patio. We mixed some of the crushed stone in. So we did that. Most of these flower pots back here came from yard sales, auctions, estate sales, the stands, the furniture, it's all secondhand. Even the hot tub is secondhand. I spent the majority of the money on the patio. As you can see, I have a couple weeds I have to pull and spray, so that's on my list. It's just been raining here off and on, so I really didn't want to break it out. But yeah, a lot of this stuff came from auctions, yard sales, and as I see pots at a good price, I tend to replace them. There's a couple over here that I want to replace next year. These ones with the leaves, the design's starting to come off. I was trying to bid on some at the auction last night, but they actually went for more than the price tags on the bottom from the local discount store. So, but I like to add in a variety of different plants to give it a lot of color in the summertime. This plant stand here, I have to go back over it and scrub it down and repaint it. I actually use it as a towel holder for the hot tub, which is nice. So there's a lot of neat things. This set, this round barrel set, there's, excuse the vegetables that we have to plant. There's still have to work on the garden. This actually, Brian did a favor, made some cushions that fit down in here. I didn't pull them out because it looks like it's gonna rain, but so every year I tend to add more and more, and I always look for very interesting pieces. The only thing I think I bought new are these white planters. I bought them at Home Goods, I think it was last year or the year before, just to have something on the bank here for a little breakup. But as you can see, most of these planters I've bought secondhand. That turquoise bird bath I bought last year, it's got some cracks in it, but I absolutely love it, and I keep it close to the house so it doesn't get damaged. My pride and joy has been this set of furniture. I've pieced this together over the last 20 years. It needs some touch-up paint. Every year I have to do touch-up paint on it. It needs a scrubbing. I wanted to get the pressure washer out this past weekend, but it rained and rained and rained, so I'll probably do it this week. But we have, you know, the nice patio out here with the fire pit. Down below you'll see the garden. But yeah, it's a very peaceful setting back here. I always like sitting back here and just enjoying. I'll sit out here, talk on the phone. On a nice day when it's not too hot, I'll sit out here and work if I'm working from home. But it's a little backyard oasis. So I thought I'd do this video just to give everybody kind of an idea of what you can do on a budget. I started this, like I said, about 20 years ago, and slowly added pieces to it, and I changed things out, and you know, I saved up some money and did the patio, and now it's very calm and relaxing. It's a little oasis to get away to during the summer and the spring, even the winter time. Still use the hot tub, but always keep your eyes out at yard sales and auctions and thrift stores for flower pots. Even in the off season, I bought a lot of these in the middle of winter and gotten great deals on them because people aren't thinking about gardening. So I always encourage people to think like that. And just adding interesting pieces like this pagoda here or the bird bath into the mix just gives it a very cool look. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour of the garden. Let me know what your favorite thing was in the garden. I always like to hear when friends come over, you know, if they like something or what. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think your favorite plant was, or flower pot, or bird bath, and leave a comment down below. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.